2 years back, we created a dashboard in Power BI using live data from a website. Yes, that's right. You can refresh that dashboard with a click of a button. But some of our friends have recently said that the data tables in the website have changed a little bit, so the video may not be compatible that much. So I decided to recreate it. So which is basically this dashboard. So let's start building this one. Maybe it will take a little bit more effort from your side, but you will learn a lot. So let's start. So guys, let us start building this dashboard. First, what we have to do is we have to open a blank Power BI file, which is like this. And then we have to link it with our data source, which is the basically website URL. Go to Home ribbon, then click on Get Data and click Web. So here you have to paste the URL just like this. I have already copied it from the website. This is Voltometer and it records the stats of coronavirus patients and their related details. Press OK and it will connect with the database or the tables on that website, and we are going to have a look at what those tables show us and which table is relevant for us. So we have our list of tables. Let us see these tables one by one and see which one is most relevant for us. So click on the first table. So you can see that it has the stats. We can see that the world has a total number of cases of 69 million, I think, or 6.9 million. It is 697 million, sorry. And the second one also has 697 million, but you can see the number of new cases in this case. In respect of table 1, I think there were also some new cases. So table 1 is basically the stats for today, while table 2 is the stats of yesterday. And I think table 3 is the stats for day before yesterday. So we can go with table 2 because it will always be updated, and since if you are refreshing the data at the start of the day, there will be no data in respect of the new cases or the new deaths or new recoveries. So we will select table 2 and you will have to tick the table, and then the grayed out buttons will be activated. You will have to click transform data, because we want to see whether the data is compatible with our calculations or not, and maybe we would like to do some modifications in it. So once we click transform data, it will take us into Power Query, where we are going to do the modifications, where this is basically the name of the query here, and we can close it out. So as soon as the data is loaded into Power Query, it performs certain functions which are listed here. It has promoted the headers and changed the type of the columns as well. But we know that there are certain problems in the columns because of which the correct data type will not be picked up by Power Query, and we would not be able to perform calculations. So first we have to remove this last step, which is the change type, and then we will first modify or remove the errors in this particular set of data, and lastly we will change the type of those columns. So first we will see how the data is appearing. We have a column with a serial number in it, and there are certain cells which are blank, and for all of those blank cells, if you see those rows, there is a total for particular stats. So it's a world total, it's a total for Europe, and so on. So we will only need the rows which have the data for countries. So we can easily just uncheck the blank cell and press OK. Now if we scroll through the columns, we can see that there are so many columns which are irrelevant, and we will not require those in our dashboard. We can either right click on a specific column and click remove, or we can select all of those columns which we need and remove other columns. So either way it's doable, but I would prefer to select the columns I need and remove other columns. So I need all of these. You can see it as to which columns I am selecting. So we do not need any calculations because we are going to perform our own calculations on this set of data. And total test, population, continent, I think this would be it. And right click on any of the column which you have selected and select remove other columns. So all of the other columns have been removed and we are left with the data we require. So if we see at all of the value columns, we can see that some of the columns have data as not applicable, which is basically a text, because of which the Power Query will not be able to pick the right data type. So first we have to remove all of these and the process is just right click on the specific value which is basically not applicable, click replace values and just press OK. Or press 0 if you want to replace it with 0. So since we do not have a data for this, we will just prefer to have it shown as blank. Do it for the rest of the columns. So just I'm going to fast forward this video. So once we are done with refining our data, we can now set the data types, because you can see that this is value, but the data type selected is text. So just press Ctrl A to select all of the data and go to transform and click detect data type. Just remember that we are in Power Query at the moment and not in Power BI. So all of the data have been corrected on the basis of its data type. And if you are using the latest version of Power BI, you can see the column quality or data quality in each column. Now, if you are not able to see it, just go to the view ribbon and click column quality and you will be able to see if any errors are there in any of the columns of your data. So we are done with this. We are first going to perform some of the calculations which will be used in our dashboard. So we have the total number of cases and we also have the population of each country. So if I divide total cases with the population, so it will mean that the percentage that comes out of this calculation will be the percentage of persons affected in each country. And if I minus it from 1, so the remainder will be something persons who are immune, who were immune to this coronavirus or were not affected somehow. So for doing this, I'm going to click first the total cases and then I'm going to click the population. You will have to press Ctrl key before selecting the second column and go to add column, because we want to add another column for calculation. Go to standard and you can press divide. So it will add another column and divide total cases by population of each country. So here you can see that I have selected the last step which was just performed by Power Query, and you can see the formula. The name of the column is division and it's total cases by population. So in case I want to know which people were immune to coronavirus. So selecting this step, you can go into the formula bar, press 1 and click minus and just put this in bracket. So you can see that this 0.32 or 32.5% will change into the remainder of 100%. Once I press enter, so it's now 67.4%. So click on this column and then set the data type to percentage. You can do it from here or from the menu as well. I'm going to select this one and select percentage. So the data type is now percentage and I'm going to rename it as immunity, because these are the percentage of the people who were not affected by coronavirus. And since I have it, I can group different set of percentages differently. For example, any country which has a percentage of greater than 90%, I would say that the people in that country have a good immunity towards coronavirus. So for calculating this, I am going to add a conditional column. You will have to select the last step if it is not already selected, and then go to add column, and then add a conditional column. And here I am going to name the column as immunity ranking, immunity rank. And for the column, it's the immunity column. And if it is greater than or equal to 0.9 or 90%, then the output should be the people have full immunity. Then I am going to add another clause. So if the immunity is greater than or equal to 0.8, so the immunity is good enough. Add another one and repeat all the items. If it is greater than or equal to 0.7, then it's average. And if it is less than 0.7, if it is less than 0.7, then I would say that the immunity is poor. So you can change the percentages as per your liking. Otherwise, just leave it and press OK, because we have covered all the percentages from 0% to 100%. So we have the immunity ranking, and the data type should be text. Let's see if it gives an error or not. So we have an error in the last column. We can see it from the column quality menu above, and we can scroll down to see where the error is. Here is the error because we do not have any value here. So either we can right click on the error directly, or we can select the column anywhere and go to transform, and here we will be able to find replace values, and in which we can find the replace errors. So for errors, we can say that because these are not much in number, I can say that it should be poor. So the next I want to calculate is the recovery capacity. So if the total recovered have a higher percentage of total number of cases, then I would say that they have a good recovery capability or capacity. So next calculation is total recovered. Select this one and press Ctrl key and select total cases. Go to add column, go to standard, and again press divide. And in this one we will have, so we have a percentage. Let's change the data type to percentage and rename it as recovery capacity. So there are no errors in this calculation. Now let us go to our dashboard and start creating the charts. Go to home and press close and apply. So our data is now ready. You can click on the table and see all of the fields which we just found in Power Query or created there. So first we have to change the canvas background. Click on it and you can find the visualizations pane here. Click on format, go to canvas settings or canvas background first and change the color and reduce the transparency to 0%. So here is our canvas. Now insert a filter. So here you can find all the visuals, and now we can select a continent. So it's setting for continent. There is a blank item here as well. I don't know why it is appearing. We can go to the filters pane and uncheck this one. So the blank one is gone now. For the filter settings, go to again format. So there will be so many settings in creation of dashboard. Go to slicer setting. So it's not vertical list, we want it to be tiles, and we do not want the header. And we also, let's go to the values, change the font to black. We do not want any padding here, and we do not want the borders as well. but we want the background. So go to the background and select a darker color than as compared to our dashboard. For the values, we can select a white color. So in this way, our filter items or the continents will be visible properly. We also do not want the background for this particular visual, which is basically the slicer. So go to journal, and in the effects you can remove the background. So we have it ready now. Go to insert and insert a shape which will be for a rectangle of rounded edges. You will set this one at 240 by 210. Change the color to this one. In shape, in format, shape, and then style. So this is the color we want. We do not want the borders, but we want the shadow. And there is a certain setting for the shadow. It should be black, yes. And the transparency should be 15%. And it should go to 40. And it should be bottom left. Now let us populate some figures in it. Click anywhere in your canvas and select this card. And now we are going to select the total number of persons that died. So total deaths. So here it is 7 million. I am going to modify this a bit. Go to format, call out value, and I think the decimal should be at least 1 decimal, and the color will be, the size should be 30. We do not want the category label here, and we also do not want the background. So go to effects in journal and remove the background. Now go to insert and insert an image of your liking, because this is related to death. So something of this nature would be fine. Then again, the visuals are not that much understandable. We have to insert a text box here. Click on insert and then go to the text box. And here you are going to write number of deaths, or should I say it should be direct. Let us first select the Arial black, and we can write people died, and central line, reduce the size. First let us remove the background. Click on it, go to effects, and you can remove the background here, and now select the text and change its color to white. And now place it just below the number. So selecting items in Power BI is a bit difficult, so you can always use the option of dragging and then copy and paste. So here we want to say, we want to display all of those people who died today. So the color has been changed automatically. I have to select this one. And also it should be Arial black. Today's deaths. I think we can also reduce the size to 8. Again, copy the above visual. Now, instead of the total deaths, we are going to select the deaths today or new deaths. And so our first visual is ready, which is basically displaying the total number of unfortunate people who died during Corona. So this was the effort we needed to do to create one visual, but we can just easily copy it and paste separately, and we just need to modify or link new fields into it. Click on this one, and now we are going to show how many people were affected by Corona. So this will call for the total number of cases. So this is the total cases, and for this one I think we can go to format and call out value. We can reduce the number of decimals to 0 and maybe increase the size of it a bit. So this shows people affected, or should I say infected. And this will be new cases or today's cases. And for this one we are again going to change the field. We can also reduce the size of this visual as well. I think it should be 20. I think 20 would be enough, and for this one as well. And we need to link it with the total number of new cases. So this is the new cases today. And for the picture, obviously this picture is not relevant. We can go to our database and see what we have. So for new cases, I would say that total infected would be this one. So second visual is also ready. Again, select it and copy it and paste it. So third one is related to people who recovered from Corona. So click on this one, change the field to total recovered. So leave it like this, change the description. Now we can increase the size of this. So today saved, we can have it a small description so that it should not take more place. Now for the field, we need to have the new recovered numbers. So we have this one, and let us first change this picture. Again, go to insert, image, and let's see what we have. I think this would be better. If you have a better picture, you can use that one as well. So we have our three visuals ready. We can just check the slicer if it's working fine or not. So you can see that in case of Australia and Oceania, there is basically no new deaths, which is a good thing. And maybe there may be a reason that now the data is not being reported as frequently as it was during Corona. We also performed two calculations in Power Query. One was the immunity percentages, and the second one was the recovery capacity of people in different countries. So we can we can use the help of the bubble chart. Click on it, and since we want to do modifications here, we can use the same settings. We can even change the color as per our liking. So let us modify this shape first. Go to shape and reduce this to, let's say, 10%. And for the color, go to format, shape, style, and change the color. So let us populate this bubble chart before we place it over here. So we need the immunity percentage. Just click on it and we'll see where it places. The Power BI has placed it on x-axis, and on y-axis we can have the recovery capacity. So it is showing sum of immunity and sum of recovery capacity. We can have change it to average. Again, average. So in this chart we actually want to see if a country has a good immunity or a specific level of immunity, and it has a specific level of recovery capacity. So still, are there more new cases or less new cases? So let us plot new cases. So this is basically the bubble size. And now for legends we can have the continents. So it has plotted it into the values we want it in the legends. Now let us do modifications to this bubble chart. Click on it, go to format, and let us first go to remove the legend. We do not need the legend. We can have the category labels on the bubbles directly. So both of these values are not showing as percentage. Let us click on the immunity first, and you can see the column tools directly available here. We can click on percentage, and we can do the same for recovery capacity as well. Click on percentage. So now it makes more sense. We do not need the heading, which is basically the title. We do not need it. We also do not need the background. Go to journal and go to effects and remove the background. So the background is removed. We also do not need the grid lines. I don't know where it is now. Go to visual. I think it's here. You can remove the grid lines as well. So we want it to be very simple. Remove both the vertical as well as the horizontal ones. Plot it over here, and we can see that we need to change the font color to white. For category labels, change the color to white, and go to X and Y axis, also change the values color to white. Do the same for title and for y-axis as well. Now we just need to rearrange the sequence of these layers. Just click on your chart and go to format and click on bring forward, or you can just click bring to front. And now let us adjust the size of it so that it's not too small and not too big. So I think now it's looking pretty fine. We can have the title by just dragging any of the previous title, clicking on it, copy and then paste anywhere, and now drag it to its place change the size, and it should be left aligned. And here we are showing that it's basically new cases by immunity. So basically the recovery capacity or the immunity are one and the same thing. We are just saying here that it's by immunity. Again, one more thing we can do is that we can have the total number of new cases displayed here. As the things will be filtered, the total number of new cases will be shown over here. So this is basically our total number of new cases. We can select it, copy it, and drag it to the specific chart. We just need to do modification because it doesn't look nice here. We can have it the decimal places to nil, and we can change it to bold. So I think it's fine now. I hope you have liked this video because it is taking long. I will be doing second part of this video to complete it. Just before going, we can see that how things can be manipulated by using slicer in Power BI. So it is very well formatted and very well built. See you in the second part. Till then, try this one and try to bring more ideas of analysis from this set of data. See you then. Bye-bye.